Hey, this is Nathan with Untitled Dice. I'm doing another Watch Me Play today. Today I'm looking at this game, Pandemic, Reign of Cthulhu. It's another variant of the game Pandemic. This one, the theme is taken from the Cthulhu mythos from the writer H.P. Lovecraft, from his stories like Call of Cthulhu and so forth. So instead of flying around the world trying to control diseases, you are moving around 4 cities, fictional cities, in the New England area circa the 1930s, and you are trying to prevent these insane cultists from opening portals to other dimensions, summoning monsters through them, and eventually trying to awaken these ancient alien gods such as Cthulhu. So I've played this game a few times, but it's been a little while. Figured I would just do a recording of a quick solo play of it and share that with you guys. So we'll go over to the desk. I'll show you how I've got things set up and just give you a quick rundown of what the objectives of the game are and how some things work, and then we'll get started. So here's the desk. Hopefully you can see the board pretty well. This board is kind of dark and extra glossy, so it's not showing up quite as well on camera as some of the other boards I've shown here. But hopefully you can at least discern the functional aspects of it. So I'm simulating a 3-player game here. I've got each player's hands set up here. Your characters start here at the train station in Arkham. And so the board is basically divided up into 4 towns. You have Arkham here, Innsmouth, Kingsport, and Dunwich. Those being 4 fictional towns from the stories by H.P. Lovecraft. Up here you have these cards that are the old ones, the ancient alien gods that the cultists are trying to awaken. And so instead of having outbreaks in this game and tracking those outbreaks like you do in regular Pandemic, instead you have these different these old gods waking up, and if you get all the way to the end, then Cthulhu himself wakes up and brings about the end of the world. But in the meantime, you have these other ones waking up, and each time one of these ancient ones wakes up, it adds, not only is it like the countdown to the end of the game, but it adds some extra rule to the game that is going to work against you. The object of the game is to seal the 4 portals that the cultists have opened, one in each of these towns. So one of them is here in the park in Arkham, and there's one in each of the other towns as well. So there's a few ways you can lose. You can lose if all of the old ones are awakened. You can lose if you get to the bottom of the player deck. There's also a sanity mechanism in here with the investigators possibly losing their sanity, trying to deal with all this alternate dimensions and stuff like that. And so if all of the players go insane, if their characters go insane, then you also lose the game. And of course, there's the typical thing. Instead of disease cubes, you have these little cultist figures. If you ever need to put more of them on the board and you don't have enough of them to put out, then you lose the game. And that's basically it. So I'm not going to cover every rule as I go, but that just gives you a general idea of what's going on here. Another aspect of this version of the game is they have this Sanity Die. It's a custom die with different symbols on different things. You have to roll this at different points in the game, and usually bad things happen when you roll it. So we'll go ahead and get started. We're going to take the first player, and the first player is going to be the Hunter. The Hunter's special ability, they're better at taking out cultists and or the Shoggoths, which are the monsters that the cultists are summoning. So we'll just grab a little extra die here to track whose turn it is. And so her special thing is that she can deal with the cultists and the monsters more effectively. We have one Shoggoth on the board already over here, it's going to be moving towards the nearest portal, which is here at the hospital, where there's already 3 cultists. And so we don't want the Shoggoth to be able to get to the portal. That would be bad for us. So we need to take that out as quickly as possible. Now, she has a green card for the city Arkham, which means if she's on a bus station, she can, if she's in a bus station in Arkham, she can move directly to any spot on the board that she wants. So she's going to go ahead and do that. She'll discard that Arkham card. We're going to move her right to where the Shoggoth is. Now, when you enter a space with the Shoggoth, you have to roll the Sanity Die. So she rolled a blank. Nothing bad happens. That's good. Now she's going to go ahead and use her special ability. Once per turn, she can defeat a Shoggoth for only 1 action. So she's going to do that. And the next step for her is going to be, let's see. Well, I want her to inn in this town in Innsmouth because she has an Innsmouth card. And if she's in Innsmouth, she can hand that off to the reporter if the reporter also is in Innsmouth. So the reporter already has 3 blue cards. Getting a 4th blue card to her seems like a good idea. So that being said, she's got 2 actions. She could move. She could try to take out these cultists here. But she's already used 2 actions, so the best she can do is move to where those cultists are. Well, she'll move to the factory anyway, because that's a bus station, so that'd probably be a good thing. And I guess she might as well move to the hospital. She can be prepared to take out some of those cultists on her next turn. Alright, so that's what we'll do. So then we're going to draw 2 player cards. Alright, she got another Innsmouth. That's good. And she got a relic. This relic is called Book of Shadow. Now, so in regular Pandemic, you have what they call event cards, and this they're called relics. They usually have a good effect, but when you use them, you also have to roll the Sanity Die. So you could have some backlash from using the relics. All right. So moving on, the next thing we got to do is draw 3 summoning cards. So that's these. 1, 2. I'm sorry, not draw 3, draw 2. It's just 2 in the beginning. All right. So we're going to have more cultists show up. 1 at the swamp and 1 at the diner. Diner's right there. The swamp is right there. Okay. All right, next player's turn. So now we have the detective. The detective, his special thing is he only needs 4 cards of a color in order to seal the gate in that town. He's got one each of 3 different colors, so he's not going to be doing anything with that, really. He doesn't need to get to Innsmouth because the hunter now has 2 blue cards. She could give both of those blue cards to the reporter, and the reporter will be ready to go as far as sealing the gate over there. So instead, he could be working on maybe clearing out some of these cultists. So he'll take 1 from the location he's at, and then he'll go 2, 3, 4, and in his movement at the old mill. So actually, you know what? We'll leave the 1 at the train station, and we'll take 1 off of the old mill, because it's already got 3. Yeah, it's got 3, so we'll take it down to 2. All right, looks good. So then he draws 2 player cards. They're both for Arkham. Okay. Might be good. If he gets 2 more Arkhams, he can seal that, because his special thing is sealing for 4 cards instead of 5. And then we do 2 of these. We get some more cultists. 1 at the docks. 1 at the graveyard. Okay. And now it's the reporter's turn. So the reporter as an action, she can move from a bus station to any other bus station. So she's at a bus station. She can jump from there to the factory, because that's also a bus station. That's one action. 2 actions puts her right here at the hospital. 3 actions lets her take one of these blue cards. She's got 1 action left. I'm trying to think if she should take that last blue card or if she should take out one of these cultists. I think just to be safe, she'll take out one of the cultists. Alright, so that's her turn. She's going to draw 2 cards. Alright, she got a green and a red. Where is she at? 4, 5, 6, 7. She's at her hand limit now. Okay, and then we're going to draw 2 of these cards. So we've got one at the church, which is right there, and one at the factory, which is right there. Okay, so we're back to the hunter. The hunter's special thing, remove all cultists when doing the defeat a cultist action. So she'll go ahead and take out these 2 guys for 1 action. She'll give this blue card to this player. And let's see, the reporter will have to discard something. She'll go ahead and discard this red card. So that was a second action. She's got 2 more actions, so I think I'll just have her go 3, 4. All right. Draw 2 cards. Okay, so she got a green card, which is good. And she drew this Evil Stirs card. So this card is this game's version of like an epidemic card. So the first thing she has to draw, she has to roll the Sanity Die and see what happens. Came up with blank. She's good to go. Then we reveal the next old one. That's this card. So we have Yog-Sothoth. It says playing relic cards can only be done by the active player. So that's a new rule that we're going to have to deal with now. And draw 1 card from the bottom of the summoning deck. It's the Farmstead. And we have to put a Shoggoth there. So, got another monster on the board. And then we shuffle the discard pile here and put it on top. Well, we got through more than half of that deck before we had to reshuffle it, so that's good. We don't have more than 2 cultists on any location, so that's also good. Because we're going to start going through the same locations again now. All right, then we draw 2 of these. We get 1 in the graveyard. It's over here, and we get 1 at the train station. All right. The Shoggoth doesn't move because neither one of these cards that we drew has a Shoggoth symbol on it. And yeah, now it's to the detective's turn. So if the detective could get these other 2 green cards that the other players have, he could seal the gate there, which would be good. Oh, and I haven't gotten to that point yet. Okay, never mind. Yeah, he could seal the gate there, which would be good. However, we also need to think about the fact that we've got cultists and a Shoggoth now right there in Dunwich that he might need to deal with. Well, he can't deal with the Shoggoth on this turn because he's not going to have enough actions to handle that. So he could use 1 action to take out one of those guys. That seems like a good place to start. I think he might as well take out the other one. So that's 2 actions. You go 3 actions, 4 actions. Alright, so he's probably going to be dealing with that monster on his next turn. But hopefully that'll work out. Alright, 2 player cards for him. Got another yellow and another red. He's at his hand limit now, but he doesn't need that blue card. So if it comes to it, we can discard that. And then 2 of these. Alright, so we get 1 at the hospital, 1 at the farmstead. Alright. Okay, now it's the reporter's turn. So the reporter, she's got her 5 blue cards, so the first thing she's going to do is go ahead and discard those to seal the blue gate. So that is done for 1 action. Now, what's next for her? She could use this relic. The relic doesn't actually require an action, but she could go ahead and use it to deal with this guy. It'll mean rolling the Sanity Die, but he'll have to roll the Sanity Die to deal with this monster too, so it might as well be her rolling it, I think. So that's what we'll do. So we can remove up to 4 cultists or 1 Shoggoth from anywhere on the board. We'll go ahead and remove him. And then you gotta roll the Sanity Die. Ah, she lost 2 Sanity. Alright. So that's that. That was an inaction, so she still has 3 actions. So let's see, if she gets to Arkham, Arkham is where she could hand off her green card to the detective. So she can go 2, 3, 4. So now she took out a cultist and she is in Arkham where she can hand over this green card to the detective. So that's good. All right, 2 player cards for her. We have an Innsmouth and we have another relic. And 2 of these. Got more cultists popping up in the boardwalk and the factory. Okay. So now it's the hunter's turn. And the hunter also has a green card, so she needs to get to Arkham so she can give that green card to the detective as soon as possible. However, she's also good at dealing with cultists. So I'm thinking the best the detective's going to be able to do on his next turn is go 1, 2, take the card from her for 3, and then maybe either take care of this cultist or move like to the university so he gets a little deeper into Arkham. And she's not going to be able to get, she could go 1, 2, 3, 4, she could get to either the park or the police station. But that's the closest. That's the closest they're going to be able to get to each other. So I don't know if it really makes sense for her to head that way now. It might make more sense for her to try and clean up some of this over here. So that's what we're going to do with her. She hasn't had any actions yet, so her first action, I'm going to go 1, 2, maybe 3, 4. We'll go with that. Alright, 2 player cards for her. She's got another red card and another green card. And then 2 of these. We've got the diner and the police station. Ah, interesting. Okay. So the police station now has 3 guys at it, so we gotta deal with that as soon as possible. But now it is the detective's turn. So the detective's gonna go 1, 2, and take this green card from her. So he is got 1 too many cards now, but he can discard this blue card. We don't need blue cards anymore. Alright, and he's got 1 action left. So basically it's move or maybe take out that cultist. I think maybe taking out the cultist is the way to go. Yeah, we'll go with that. Alright, so then 2 player cards for him. He's got a red and a yellow. Now it's unfortunate that he can't keep anything here. So what's he going to do? Well, he can do without this red because between him and the hunter, they have enough red cards for him to seal the red gate. And then I guess he'll ditch this yellow too. Yeah. Alright, and then it's going to be 2 of these cards. 1 at the park. 1 at the docks. And so this card has this Shoggoth symbol there at the bottom of it. So if there was a monster on the board, it would move. But fortunately, we don't have to deal with that right now. Okay, so now it's the reporter's turn. So the reporter, I think, she's got no cards to contribute to anything in particular. So she's just going to go 1, 2, 3, 4. Try and keep things under control there. 2 player cards. Alright, so she's got another red card. And we got another evil stirs. So she needs to roll for sanity. Roll to blink, we're good there. Reveal the next old one. Alright. Sathagwa? I don't know, I guess that's how you're supposed to pronounce that. All players collectively discard 3 cards. Collectively discard 3 cards. Okay. Well, that's 1. We don't need that. We don't need this. And I suppose we don't need that. Okay, and then what's next? Oh, right. Take a card off the bottom. Alright, Shoggoth appears there. So that's at the Secret Lodge. Right there. Ooh, that's not good. Okay, yeah, we're gonna have to deal with that guy quick as we can. Alright, and then these get shuffled. And draw 2 more. Alright, the graveyard and the boardwalk. Here's the boardwalk. Graveyard's down there. Okay, graveyard's in a kind of dangerous spot now. So we need to start worrying about that a little bit. Alright. And it's going to be the hunter's turn. So what's the hunter going to do? Well, we need to deal with this guy quick as we can. The hunter can go 1, 2, 3, 4. Won't quite get there with the one action she needs to deal with it. However, she could take one step over here to the factory, which is a bus stop. She could use her Arkham card to go anywhere in Arkham she likes. So she could go straight to the secret lodge, which means she has to roll a sanity die and lose 1 sanity. And then she can take this guy out. So that was what, 1, 2, 3 actions to take him out? Oh. And she gets a relic when she does that, which is Song of Cthulhu. Huh, interesting. Alright, that's good. Okay, and she's got 1 action left. So, I feel like maybe moving this way would be a good thing. She moved to the park. Alright, 2 player cards. Okay, yellow card and another relic. So, interesting. She's at 6 cards. Okay, and then we gotta do 2 of these. So we add 1 to the park. Oh. Yeah, that's not good. And then 1 to the secret lodge, which is right there. Oh, well, it's a good thing we handled that guy when we did, because I just pulled the secret lodge, which has that Shoggoth symbol on it, which means that the monster would have moved from here to there, to where the portal is, and that would have been bad for us. So that was good timing. And now it's the detective's turn. And he no longer has a 4th green card available to him from either of these other players. So that's kind of bad. So the next best thing is to try and get the red cards together, maybe. Alright, well, this is in the red area, and it's kind of in danger to some degree. So, he could use one of his green cards to move from where he is to there. Might be kicking myself later for doing that, but we'll go with it. So he moves there. 1 action. 2, 3 actions to take out those guys. Maybe go ahead and take out the last one with his 4th action. Draw 2 cards. I mean, it'd be sweet if he drew 2 of anything but blue. Well, he got 1 green card and a blue card, which he doesn't need. Okay. Alright. And then 2 of these. We have 1 in the farmstead and 1 in the police station. There's the police station. Farmstead is right there. Okay. So it's the reporter's turn, and once again the reporter is stuck with no cards. So, what can she do? Well, she can take out these two guys where she's at, move to here for one action, and take out one of those guys. That's probably the best she can do. Okay, so she got a yellow card, and she got another relic. Okay. She could go ahead and use this to swap this yellow card for this red card. That would get him closer to having the 4 yellows he needs. Yeah, let's go ahead and do that. She's got to roll the Sanity Die. She lost 1 more Sanity. But we're going to swap these 2 cards. Alright. So he's close to getting either yellow or green. So that's good. Alright. And then we need to do 2 of these. Docks and train station. The docks are there. And the train station is there. So the docks are going to be a concern soon. And now it is the hunter's turn. So the hunter... Well, if the hunter can get her yellow card to the detective, he'll be ready to go with yellow. So let's try to at least end my turn in yellow somewhere. If possible. Well, for one action we can get rid of these 2 guys, so I think we might as well do that. I feel like this might be a good thing to use. Draw, look at, and rearrange the top 4 cards of the player deck. Okay, so this is what we've got coming up. So she's going to draw 2 of these. If she draws a red and a yellow, then the detective goes next. He'll draw a yellow and the evil stirs. I think that's probably a good plan. Okay. Then next things, then she's got to roll this. Roll a blank, that's good for her. And let's see, she still has only taken 1 action. So she doesn't need to worry about getting into yellow with the detective anymore, because I know at the end of the detective's next turn, he's going to draw the yellow card he needs to seal the yellow gate. And I don't think getting her yellow card to him will be any faster than that. So she is simply going to focus on maybe clearing out some more of these cultists. So 2 actions, 3 actions, 4 actions. Puts us in good shape there, I think. Alright, 2 player cards for her. The red and the yellow card that we knew she was going to get. She's at her hand limit now. 2 of these. We have the factory and the hospital. And now it's the detective's turn. So the detective, no point in him staying where he's at because there's nothing happening there. He needs to head towards yellow because at the end of his turn he's going to draw the other yellow card he needs. So let's get him moving that direction. So he could go 1, 2. Yeah, I guess just 3, 4 and stop there. Although he's going to draw a card and be over his hand limit. So he could just use this card to travel all the way to here. So that would have been 1, 2, 3, 4, take out that. We'll go with that. Alright, so he's got his 4 yellow cards now, and we drew the evil stirs. So he's got to roll for sanity. He lost 1 sanity. But that's the first time he's lost any sanity, so that's not too bad. And then you got to flip over one of these. To walk out of a location with 2 or more cultists, a player must first defeat a cultist at that location. Okay, so basically you can't leave a location with 2 or more cultists. Well, no, that's not true. If there were 3, you could take 1 out, and then leave. Okay, I don't think that's going to be a huge problem. And then we have a Shoggoth coming up, and it's going to be in the theater. Wow, okay. Then we got to shuffle these. Alright, and draw 2 more. A yellow and a green. The farmstead and the park. Park. And the farmstead's where he's at. Okay. Alright, and now it is the reporter's turn. So, man, the reporter's still kind of stuck in this weird spot where she doesn't have hardly any cards. And yeah, nothing else in particular to do. So she could head over here and try to take care of him, but I don't think I need to worry about him too much at the moment. He'd have to move 3 times for me to be in trouble. And the cards that would make him move haven't been coming up. I don't think there's very many of them in the top part of the deck that I'm going through. So I think she's going to mainly focus on just clearing out some more cultists. I think the worst place for cultists is the docks right now. 1, 2, 3. Okay, so she could go 1, 2, and discard any clue card to go anywhere. That's her special ability. So she could discard this one. We're going to run out of red cards, though. I mean, we're going to run out of the deck, though, before we can seal the red gate, and the yellow gate, and the green gate, is what I'm worried. So maybe she should hang on to that. She's already moved twice. She could go 3, 4 and stop at the pawn shop. Or, no, she could go 3, 4 and stop at the boardwalk. Yeah. Alright, we'll go with that. It's not a very productive turn, but it is what it is. Okay. Well, she got a green card, so that's good. If she can get that to the detective after he's done with yellow, then that might be helpful. And then we draw 2 of these. You get more people, one at the police station, one at the train station. Okay. Okay, not worried about the police station, but the train station might be something to worry about soon. And it's back to the hunter, so... Alright, the hunter has yellow cards that she doesn't need to worry about keeping at all. And she's on a bus station right now. So she could do something, for example, like use one yellow card to move here, and then another yellow card to go literally anywhere she wants. Like she could go to the docks and deal with that guy there. That might be a good idea. So she could burn these 2 cards to go there in 2 actions. Right? Yeah, 1, 2, yep. And then 3 would get rid of all 3 of those guys. And she's got 1 action left. Maybe start heading this way. Yeah, sounds good. She has to draw 2 player cards. She got a blue card she doesn't need, and she got an Evil Stirs. So, she's got to roll for Sanity first. Ooh, she lost 2 Sanity. That's not good for her. Alright. You flip over one of these. What's this one? Draw 4 cards from the bottom of the summoning deck. And add 1 cultist to each of these locations. Discard these cards. Okay. Interesting. That's really going to change kind of the flow of the game a little bit. It's an interesting mechanism. I like that. Okay, and we got to take one off of the bottom here. The cafe. So we get a monster in the cafe. Cafe is yellow. Okay. Alright. And then we gotta shuffle these. Alright, and now we gotta draw 3 of them. 1, 2, 3. So we add 1 to the market. We add 1 to the farmstead. We add 1 to the historic inn. And we have one of those Shoggoth symbols there. So this guy is gonna move from there to the market. So he's moving towards the graveyard because that's where the nearest gate is. Alright. And that is the hunter's turn, so now we're back to the detective. So the detective needs 1, 2, 3 actions to seal this. So he might as well take out one of these cultists. 2, 3, 4. Alright. That's good. Halfway to our end game. And draws 2 player cards. Okay, he's got all the green cards he needs. That's good. Draws 3 of these. 1 at the police station. 1 at the train station. 1 at the cafe. No Shoggoths. Okay. Alright, so now it's the reporter. Alright, so we don't need to worry about getting green to him. His next turn, he's probably going to go 1, 2, 3. Yeah, okay. Or he could go 1, 2, 3, 4. There we go. Yeah, he's going to be able to close the green gate on his next turn. So the next thing we're really looking at is just, can we do anything to close the red gate? So getting this red card to the hunter get us closer to closing the red gate. Okay, so she could take this guy out for 1, 2. I don't really want her to go there. Let me think. You know what? She doesn't need this card. So that was 1, 2, 3. That would work. And then she could give this to her. That's 4. So that's her 4 actions. And yeah, that's where that leaves her. Okay. And she's got too many cards now, right? 4, 5, 6. Nope, just enough. Okay, good. So 2 player cards. Ooh, she got a red card. That's good. And another green card. Okay. Man, I don't know. I may have lost already. I've only got 3 cards left here. But we'll go ahead and play it out and just see how close we can get. I gotta draw 3 of these. Okay. 1 at the park. 1 at the wharf. And 1 in the woods. And 1 Shoggoth, so we gotta move this guy up 1. Okay. Alright, and now it's the hunter's turn. So the hunter, for her first action, can take the 5th red card that she needs. So that's 1 action. Alright. It's like we're really, really down to the line here. Okay. She's going to go ahead and use this Song of Cthulhu. I don't need to roll a sanity. I don't need to roll the sanity die after this. And I can either all players regain 1 sanity or 1 player regains full sanity. So I'm going to do all players regain 1. Because she's down to 1, she's down to 1, and he's lost 1 sanity. So we'll go ahead and do that. That doesn't take an action. I'm going to go ahead and use this. She's going to have to roll sanity for it. But we're going to do it. Alright, she rolled a blank, so there's no ill effects. And this lets me cover up this guy. Or his ability. So I don't have to worry about his ability. Okay. So now, she still has 4 actions. Okay. So, she can't leave here unless she takes out 1, and when she does, she takes out both. So that's 1 action. 2 actions. 3 actions. 4 actions. Gotta roll sanity because of the monster. She lost her 2 sanity. That is not good, but it's alright. Okay, now because we covered up this guy, she can go ahead and play this card. The active player can take 3 extra actions this turn. She's got to roll the sanity thing, and she lost 1 sanity. She's still got 1 left. She's going to take 3 more actions. She's got to take out these 2 guys for 1 action, 2 actions, 3 actions, and seal the red gate. Okay. Well, a lot happened there. So, 2 more cards for her. A red and a yellow. She doesn't need either. 3 of these cards. Alright, we add 1 to the boardwalk, 1 to the docks, 1 to the secret lodge. We have 2 Shoggoths here, So Shoggoths are going to move twice. This is sealed now, so this is no longer the closest. This is also sealed. The only one that isn't sealed is green. So the question is just, what's the fastest way for him to get to the green one? He can go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Or he can go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So going this way is slightly faster, so it'll go like that. Alright, and then obviously this guy's going to move that direction. Okay. It is the detective's turn now. So, and this is literally the last turn of the game, because as soon as he goes to draw cards, it's going to be I'm going to lose. So, the question is just, with his 4 actions, can he get to the park and seal the gate? He's got the cards he needs. It's just about getting there. So he could go 1, 2. I'm not sure where these guys came from. I think they were in the swamp. Okay. He can go 1, 2. Right? 1, 2. Use this card to go anywhere he wants for 3. He'll go to the park. 4th action. Discard the 4 green cards. Seal the gate in Arkham. And win the game at the last possible moment. All right. Pretty good. Wow, so that was really close. Yeah, I'm pretty excited about that, pretty pumped. Got my adrenaline up there a little bit at the end. I think the most exciting part was when, I realized I only had like 3 player cards left. So I knew I had just a couple of turns to wrap this up. But then the cards in my hand all came together. I was kind of holding off on using the relics early on because they're sort of risky. Every time you use one, you got to roll the Sanity Die, which can cause bad things to happen. But then at that point, it was like, well, I got to pull out all the stops, otherwise I won't have a chance. So that's what I did. Went ahead and gave it everything I had. And yeah, and it worked out. Having the detective in the game was a big help since he only needed 4 cards to seal a gate. And of course the hunter is good. She's kind of like this version's medic. So yeah, that was good. I was a little disappointed with the reporter because her main thing is being able to move around a lot, and she did a lot of moving around, but not much of anything else. There were a few occasions where it was helpful that she was able to move and do what she did, but I felt like that was not the most useful ability of the 3 of them. But I don't know. I mean, it's good. Everybody's got to contribute something. So, yeah. Anyhow, so that's a game of Pandemic: Reign of Cthulhu. Hopefully, that gives you an idea of how the game plays, and some of the nuances of the game and the challenge of the game. And anyhow, thanks for watching. And again, my name is Nathan. You're watching Nice at Dice. I hope you enjoy the rest of your day.